Chapter 25. Nala. The thunder started soon after they passed the huge downed tree where Scar had first stopped. The low rumble had become a familiar sound over the last 3 days. Nala knew Pride Rock desperately needed the rain. She'd heard her mother, Sarabi, and the other lionesses discussing it enough. But she certainly didn't need any more of it slowing her down. Another storm? Zazu asked. My, I guess the drought is over. I would say so, Scar said. He squinted up at the sky as if trying to look between the tree branches. We should still continue on, at least until we get to Mount K. Once there, we can rest until the storm passes. Scar peered down at her. I could use some sleep. He was probably right. She hadn't felt tired when they'd first started out again, but after the excitement of hunting the impala began to wear off, the fatigue had slammed into her. She hoped this Mount K wasn't too far. If she slowed them down too much, she feared she would start to look like a baby again in Scar's and Zazu's eyes. She'd come too far to let that happen. Even as the wind picked up, a heaviness settled in the air. Nala had experienced this before. I don't think we'll make it to that mountain before A fat raindrop plopped on her nose. Rain, she finished. A few more drops pitter-pattered around them, but it was nothing compared to the previous storm she and Abena had faced. This isn't so bad, Zazu said. Maybe we can... Before he could get the rest of the words out, the skies cracked open, and the rain became blinding, pounding the earth with a violence Nala had never seen before. Oh my, Zazu said. We must find shelter. A streak of lightning struck the ground just a few meters from them. Nala screamed. Over there, Scar said. He caught Nala by her scruff and took off at a full speed towards a rock formation that was bigger than the kopje where she and Abena had taken shelter, but not as big as Pride Rock. They huddled underneath a slab that jutted out from the rock. It shook with every clap of thunder, showering them with rocky pebbles and dust. In all my years, I have never witnessed such storms before, Zazu said. It is at times like this that I wish Rafiki were around. He would have answers to what is going on with this peculiar weather. If it is anything like the last storm, it will not last long, Scar said. Let us be grateful we found a place to wait it out. Nala was grateful for both the shelter and the companionship. A shudder raced through her as she imagined what it would have been like to be out here in this jungle alone while this storm raged. Zazu continued to prattle on about the change in the intensity of the storms compared to when he was a young bird. Nala tuned him out when he moved on to the severity of the drought. Fatigue was settling in, and as much as she tried to fight it, her exhaustion was winning. Her head lowered to the side, and she stumbled against Scar's leg. Sorry, Nala said, quickly rightening herself. She stood up straight, but only seconds later felt herself listing again. Go to sleep, Nala, Scar said. No, Go to sleep, Scar said again. Nala didn't object a second time. She nestled against the side of the rock and rested her chin on her paws. Thunder continued to roar in the distance, but it was now far enough away not to scare her. The rain still poured, but it lacked the fervor a few minutes ago. It was actually pleasant, lulling her to sleep with its melodic thump, thump, thump. She wasn't sure how long she napped when her sleep was interrupted by a sneering voice. What do we have here? Nala's head popped up. She whipped around. 3 lions, all with full bouffant manes, stood a few yards back, just at the edge of the overhang. Nala saw Scar stiffen. Clouds obscured the moon, which made it even more difficult to see the lions' faces. But Nala could already tell by the tone of the one who'd spoken that this welcome wouldn't be a warm one. Well, if it isn't Scar, the lion in the middle said. Hello, Akeem, Scar replied, his voice as calm and cool as ever. Never thought I'd see you again, the lion said. Oh, wait, it's not that I never thought I'd see you again. If that It's that I never wanted to see you again. In fact, I warned you never to show your face around here, Scar. Nala could hear her heartbeat pounding in her ears. She scooted to the side until she stood underneath Scar. We don't want any trouble, Scar said. Oh no? So why are you in a Hatari territory? You know you're not welcome here. Who were the Hatari? And what could Scar have possibly done to get banished from their territory? Gentlemen, please, Scar said. Any past disagreements have no place here. We are only passing through on our way to Garamba. As you see, I have a young cub with me. So, is that what you do now? Bring a cub on your little outings so you can hide behind him? Asked the one Scar had called Akeem. She looks like a girl cub to me, the burly lion on the right said. You getting little girl cubs to fight your battles, Scar? There will be no fighting, Scar said. He sounded calm, but Nala could feel his heart beating from where she stood underneath him. It pounded as frantically as her own. If Scar was afraid, they were in trouble. The lions advanced. Scar took a step back. Nala did the same. Gentlemen, stand down, Scar said in an authoritative voice that usually got the lioness's attention. It had no effect on the three lions stalking towards them. She surreptitiously glanced around for Zazu, but he was nowhere. He must have flown off while she had been napping. The last time you were here, we told you if you ever set foot on Hatari land again, you were a goner. Mufasa isn't here to save you this time, and it looks like your little bodyguard isn't up for the job either. The lion that had not spoken yet looked at Nala. Go, he said to her. Nala huddled closer to Scar. You better listen to him, little cubby, the other lion said. He usually eats cubs like you for a snack. Gentlemen, please, Scar said, taking yet another step back. This has been blown out of proportion. We made an honest mistake. It has been such a long time since I have been around these parts. I didn't remember the boundary of your territory. Surely you have made such mistakes yourself, Akeem. Your mistake was not sending this little cub away, because now you're both going to be dinner, Akeem said. Nala gasped. Were they really preparing to kill them? You don't want to feed on an old lion like me, Scar said. I've been around for far too long. I'm probably rested underneath all this fur. Nala looked up at him. What about her? Why wasn't he telling them all the reasons they wouldn't want to eat her? There's only one way to find out, the burly lion said to Scar. He shot Nala a terrifying scowl. Go, before I make a cub sandwich out of you. She heard Scar sigh. Leave, Nala, he said. No, Nala said. She couldn't leave him. If she did, these lions would tear him apart. What was she thinking? They would tear him apart even if she stayed. The only difference is that they would tear her apart too. She was no match for these lions. Nala, I said leave, Scar told her. No. This was not how our adventure would end. Scar's death would not be the reason their pride gained a new king. She, Simba, and Scar were all going to return to Pride Rock safely. They had to. The three lions moved in. You'd better get out of here, cub, Akeem said. This has nothing to do with you. They were aiming to kill her king. This had everything to do with her. But she was one small cub, and all three of the lions appeared to be younger and stronger than Scar. The odds were not in his favor. Nala, leave. I won't say it again. Yeah, leave, the burly lion said. She turned to Scar and recoiled at the lack of concern she saw in his eyes. He seemed to have given up. He knew he was cornered. It would take a miracle to save him, but he didn't have a miracle. All he had was her. And she wasn't giving up. Not yet. The old Nala would have cowered in fear, but she had gone through too much in her quest to find Simba. She would not allow these ruffians to ruin it all. She couldn't fight them, but she could do something. She had to figure out some way to get them out of this mess. Nala turned and pleaded with the three lions. Please, let him go. You don't understand. We're on an important miss. Nala, Scar yelled. Get out of here right now. You better listen to him, Nala, Akeem said. She started moving away from the advancing lions. They were done listening to her, and if she didn't get out of here soon, she might become their next meal. She turned to Scar. I'm sorry, she said. Then she turned to the trio. Fine, I'll leave. But she was not giving up.